I write notes down, and I'm like, I don't even know what this means. Identify as a coffee table.
That doesn't shock me that you do that.
I lost like 3 pounds the other day because I took a really big shit.
Welcome to the Strobing Butt Plug. I am your host, Ariana, and this is a podcast about craft beer.
Obviously.
This is my beautiful co-host, Missy, and my other beautiful co-host, Ronaldo.
Bullshit. You got it wrong.
Okay, Ron.
No.
Ugly co-host, Ronaldo.
What were you guys going
Smart.
to call me?
Strawberry.
Oh, strawberry, yeah. Strawberry.
Because his back hair looks like moldy strawberries in the back of your fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love fuzzy bitch.
Earlier.
There. Okay. Now I feel better.
That's right.
Continue.
Today we're going to drink beer. And I got a Christmas beer this time around. It is Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint Porter.
Ooh.
And
Winter is here.
let's see. It is. And then I also got this crappy...
Choo-choo train beer?
Is it a train? I guess it's a train. I thought it was a tractor for some reason. But nowhere in particular. Gandy Dancer, a double West Coast IPA. It's not crappy. It's just... It's an IPA. You know.
The IPA. The crappiness.
It depends.
IPA, IP all the time.
And then the Dos Equis Mysterious Berries.
Dun dun dun.
Do-do-do.
Do-do.
Today on the Strobing Butt Plug.
That's right.
I forgot to do that. This is episode 73.
Hell yeah.
And we're writing it down because I have my life together.
I've been having my life together lately.
I
It's
have
been
too.
cool.
I've been getting to work early. And I don't, I get in there and people are like, what are you doing here so early? I'm like, I got my life together, I think. I don't know.
That's bullshit.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Like, I just got my life together. Stop it now. That's great.
So let's start out drinking this one and get the disappointment out of the way.
What's the proof on the disappointing beer?
Oh, let's see. I think it was something like 5 or 6. Oh, no. It's 9.2.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Good.
there you go.
Good for us.
So,
Nice high gravity IPA.
I think I tried this. I've had it in my fridge for a little while.
I'm hoping that the higher proof kind of knocks out some of the bitter.
Maybe.
So I was talking before we started filming last week, and I went with my daughter to a Japanese restaurant. They had a whole bunch of weird stuff on the menu, and I got another
The come of some
Japanese...
young guy.
What?
The come of some young guy.
No. The place is really cool, but I got another Japanese beer. It was a very, I don't know, it reminded me like a Japanese boot, like Bud Light, wasn't much flavor to it, but it was good.
Oh, yeah.
The place is cool. That's what I was going through. They have a special area there where you can go in and do the sit at cushions and take your shoes off thing.
Oh, nice.
Do. We need a song when we
do.
Like elevator. We need generic elevator music.
That would be cool.
Get to
See,
it.
I've got my life together more to where I have more time to do that shit, to where I actually, want to do that shit.
Yeah.
I'm doing good.
I know. I feel ya. I've been a little motivated lately, too, to do things. Like, the other day, I patched my roof. I learned how to patch a roof all by myself.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's on my list of badassery now.
Fix the shingles and everything?
Huh?
Fix the shingles and throw down the tar shit?
Well, no, it was already tar shit. I just pulled off the shingles that were coming loose and put new shingles on. That
is fucking awesome. Your house is fucking tall, too, man.
I just climbed out the window.
Still. It's a tall ass 2-story house.
I don't necessarily like walking on roofs either, so I was doing a lot of crab walking up there. And at one point, I dropped nails and a whole box of nails, and it just slid down the fucking roof. So I had to crab walk down the roof to pick up all these fucking nails. And I'm like, why don't I have a magnet out here? It was stupid.
Did you at least tell somebody you were going on the roof?
I did. I told my friend, I was like, if I don't call you by sundown, I might be laying outside in the cold with a broken leg.
So, my roof is a bitch to get up to. I don't have just a window to crawl out of. But years ago, there was a time I was up there working on it, and I did not have the ladder appropriately wedged where it usually is now.
Did the ladder fall?
It did.
That's awesome.
And that was back when I was living alone at that point, and I was just hanging out going, huh. And wound up hollering at one of my neighbors, somebody walking up the street, and they just looked at me like, God, are you talking to me?
So this actually smells really good. And it's actually not bad for an IPA. I think it's pretty good.
No, it's not bad. It's a little bitter hoppy, but there's a creaminess to it.
Does the can mention any hop names on it?
It does. It's ale brewed with Amarillo, Idaho 7, and Simcoe and Summit hops.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all it says. It's kind of like a... I don't
So
know.
4
It's
hops.
a pretty simple can.
4 hops, so it's like a quad hop or something?
Quad hop. It's a double West Coast IPA.
It's a double. Okay. I like it. It's pretty good.
It's not... It is good for an IPA. I would drink this one again. Like, I would drink this one...
I would drink it again.
Just like as a regular beer.
Mm-hmm. Because it's kind of good.
I'm definitely going to give this a good 4.
I was expecting it... Like, I know I've drank it before, but I was expecting it to be, like... For some reason, I was remembering it to be worse.
It's got a creamy finish.
Yeah.
Nowhere in particular. Gahanna, Ohio. Gahanna?
Was it as cold then? Maybe if it's warm, it's not going to be good.
It probably was.
If it was-
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember if I had bought the 4-pack of this or if I just bought this one.
Something about it is kind of good. I really like it.
Yeah, it's got like a... I don't know. It almost has like a fruity taste to it.
It does. It's a real smooth feel. You can't feel any of the, you don't feel carbonation.
Yeah.
But it's fizzy as hell. Foamy.
Good shit.
Yeah. I'm very impressed by it.
I'll give it a 4.
4.
4.
I'm going to go for it also. 4's all around, kids.
So you said you had some shit to talk about, didn't you?
I do. So I've been manifesting shit, and it's really cool, and it's the way I've been doing it. And I swear, I'm just gonna go. Why were you shaking? That was weird.
I'm shaking my boobies for you. You're manifesting my man tits.
Okay, but so it was really weird the way I did it.
Because I wrote this shit down. Sorry.
So it was like Saturday, or you don't have your life together.
I have my life together.
You have your life together, it's just not your documentation. That's the hard part.
It was like Saturday or Sunday. I got up early. I woke up kind of early. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go do Uber. So it's like 5 in the morning.
That's why. Because my little flag came out, okay?
That son of a bitch flag.
See? I have
There you go.
organizers.
So anyway, I was on my way to my first trip. And then I got another trip and it showed that it was a 198-minute trip. And I was like, yeah, I'll fucking do that. Like, shit, that'd just be like my one thing. Ding, and I accepted it. And within like 3 minutes, they canceled. I was like, son of a bitch. And then it popped up again within a couple minutes. I was like, yeah, and then I took it. And they canceled it again. And I was like, son of a fucking bitch.
Do they not know how to use Uber?
I kind of wondered. I was like, maybe they were trying to type in a location and it was giving them a location that's like far away and they were trying to get like local. And then it didn't come back. And then so later that day, I was like, man, I really wish I could have had that long ass trip. I was like, I even take like a trip that's like, that pays out $100 or even 70 or 60. And I was like, all right. I was like, I'm going to manifest this shit. I was like, I'm going to get one of those trips. I can feel it. And I was like, I'm going to get a trip. I'm going to get a long trip. And it's going to be, I was like, I told myself this and I said, how did I do this? I asked the universe and I was like, I could ask someone else. And so I said, spirit guides. I literally was saying this out loud. I was like, okay, universe and spirit guides, I'm counting on you. I was like, I need your help. I need a long transport that's going to pay me at least like $100, hopefully $100. I was like, I'd be even okay with 60 or 70. And within a couple of trips, I got this trip out to Lima and it paid out like $60. I was like, dude, fucking manifested this shit.
Nice.
I was like, fuck yeah. And then so I was like, I think that was Saturday because Sunday it was just like a normal day and I was just like, no, I'm not going to try anything, manifest. I'm not feeling getting a long trip. So I just did, my stuff and then went home. So yesterday I went out and I was like doing some Uber for a while and I was like, I'm going to get a long trip. I fucking feel it. I was like, I'm going to get a trip that's going to pay out at least $150. I was like, I'm going to get a fucking trip that's going to pay that. And so I was like, okay, now I got to ask the universe and spirit guides for this again. I was like, okay, universe and spirit guides, I want a long trip. I was like, I want a trip that's going to pay out at least $150. Like, we can do this. And I want it here soon. Within a couple of trips, I don't want it at the end of my day. I want it here soon. And literally within a couple of trips, I got that 198-minute trip and I was like, is that the same name? Because it's kind of a weird name. And I'm like, I think it's the same name. It's like, I think that's the same one. I'm like, yeah. And I went and picked her up. And she, like, immediately, so she was wearing, like, black and white. She had this white bonnet on and stuff. And I picked her up from, like, the YWCA, Women's Club of America there in Dayton. And that's, like, more of, it's not like the YMCA gym. It's more of, like a shelter? Kind of in a way, I guess. I was going to say, like,
So I think that's, like, almost like a women's shelter type deal.
Yeah. And and she's doing missionary work. She was going to go down to, I forget where she went, New Haven, Kentucky, to go visit some monks.
It's like a Church of God person, or okay.
So she wanted to stop at McDonald's, like right around the corner right away, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. She's like, you can get whatever you want. She's like, you want to get something to eat or get yourself a coffee? I was like, all right, cool. I hadn't had anything to eat, and this was coming on about like 1:45. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get something to eat. So I was like, I'm going to be out for a while because it was it's supposed to be about like a 3 hour and 15-minute trip. And so I was like, I got to drive there and home. I was like, I'm going to have to get something to eat at some point. So I just fucking should go buy me some food. So I got the two hamburger meal there at McDonald's and the fries. So I was like, I ate that. That was like $7. I was like, okay, I got $7 already off of her. And then like, we made a little bit of small talk. She was really nice, and she wanted to stop. Like, we hadn't even made it to Cincinnati. We made it to Westchester, and she's like, yeah, my charger's not working. Do you mind stopping for, like, a charger so I can charge my phone? And I was just kind of like, yeah, sure, why not, And I was like, man, that was, like, an early stop. I'm, like, just going to stop like that twice. And I was like, well, whatever. It's probably going to pay out kind of good. Even though, like, I was kind of annoyed that she wanted to stop for, like, a charger. And then I was like, fuck it. And then she's like, I'll go and get some extra money out and give you a tip. She comes out and gives me $40. I was like, fuck yeah.
Wow.
And so we're going, and then she wants to stop. We barely make it to like Lexington. She's like, can I use the bathroom? I have to, And I was like, damn it, why does she keep stopping? She's making my trip even longer. But of course, like I was like nice about it. I didn't let it show that it was irritating me, and I really didn't let it irritate me that much.
Well, I mean, you're making some extra bank there,
right? Because for me, I was like, that trip's probably gonna pay out alone, just the trip. Like I figured at least 180, probably close to around 180. So we stopped. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna pull up to the pump. I was like, I have a tank of gas because I knew I had that trip, so I filled up right before that trip. So I had a half a tank of gas at this point, and she's like, I'll put gas in your car. So she puts her card in and, she walks away. And I was like, well, fuck it, I'm filling it. It's only $20,
Does she not know how that Uber thing works?
She does these trips all the time. She takes these trips all the time. And she's like, well, I just, I go to these places and wherever the Lord needs me. And I'm like, how do you know? He tells me. So if she has to go to one of these places, she goes. Like, I don't know if that's church funds that she's spending or like, whatever her place.
I don't know, but my thoughts on it are is that, you're asking the universe and spirit guides to manifest you some shit. And she's looking at it from the angle of God helping her out. So, like, same force, two different names?
That's what I kind of feel.
Yeah. I think so. And I had that conversation with her, and she was telling me, no, that's not. And I just like, okay, whatever, No. She wasn't, like, rude about it.
Most people aren't open-minded with, like, their religion. Like,
nope.
They think this is it, and that's what it is.
Right, that's how she was.
But I feel like exactly like Ron just said, it's like the same, kind of the same thing, but you're...
You guys know that I'm not a believer in much of that shit, but that feels very much like the same thing, but from like just different names.
I feel we have the
different rules.
Right. I feel we have the same God, creator, or whoever. We don't know what really happened, and but everybody who believes or worships are like actually believing in the same person. They just don't know who they're believing in. But I feel most religions are fabricated to use a higher power to control everyone.
You do your best, and at the end of the day,
right.
You hope for the best, and whatever.
Right, and that's what I believe. But anyway, so I stopped for her, and she does her card thing, and she walks away, and I was like, fuck it, And so I told her, I said, I got probably about like a 10, 11 gallon tank. I was like, I'm at half a tank. I said, I'd probably be putting about 5, 6 gallons in. She's like, that's fine. And then she walked off. I was like, all right, cool. So, that was a $20 tank that she paid for. And I was like, well, fuck yeah, man, I've already made like $60. And then like that almost $10 in food. I was like, I made almost $70 off her already. I was like,
not even counting the fare?
No, not even counting the fare. And so, we're driving and we're about 35 minutes from the place, and she's like, "Oh, can you stop so I go to the bathroom again?" I was like, God damn it. I was like getting annoyed with that, because I was like, it was 35 minutes away.
Was she like,
no.
God damn it.
Was she like an older lady with like, a tiny little thimble bladder?
She was black, so she could have been like 172. I don't fucking know. Like, she didn't look old, but she's
Like,
black don't crack.
right. So I don't know how the fuck old she was, and like, I feel like there's certain people, like, with her chosen way of life, she's probably always had a positive attitude and been happy. And if you have a positive attitude and you're like always happy, your skin, you just look better. If you're like always miserable and grumpy, you age more. So like, I don't know how old she was, but
Is that real though? Do you think that's real?
Dude, I think it is. It absolutely is.
It is to
just be happy all the time.
Oh, well,
being happy all the time.
Positive about shit. I think they can be very emotionally intelligent, and that probably helps. Or they think, oh, God works in mysterious ways, and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no, they can be pissed as shit.
See, I don't know if that's, like, completely real, though. I mean, to some extent, yeah, but I just...
Right, well, I mean, they're still going to have things that upset them, but I think they're not going to dwell on it and let it overpower them. They're not going to let it consume them.
True.
They're going to be like, man, that's horrible. I hate the fact that it happens. I'm going to pray for the best, blah, blah, blah. And, it can still be bothering them, but they won't let it consume them to the point where it just becomes a part of who they are. So I think that is probably a big thing, because you got so many miserable people out there who let their problems consume them, and they're pissed off, and that's part of who they are, and it happened to them fucking 4 years ago,
That's the thing. Yeah, okay, so, like, if you go on for that long, I would say, but, like, to some extent, I think people do, like, the thing where it's, like, toxic positivity, and it's, like, not healthy to do that completely, because, you're not completely dealing with your feelings about something.
Right, you have to deal with your feelings about it. I feel like, you have to feel your feeling, but you also have to make it make sense as you can. And then just be like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. And then you just kind of have to get on with whatever it is.
True.
But so anyway, she at 35 minutes left of this trip. And she already, this is her fourth time wanting to stop someplace. And I'm like, man, like, I haven't even gone to the bathroom once. And I had like this like huge pop that I had been drinking on, and I like my huge bottle, like, thing of water. And I'm like,
it's like a diabetes thing.
And I'm like, well, I mean, maybe. But so she wanted to stop, and I said, well, I'm going to stop at this gas station, because I was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to have to gas up at least some point on the way home. I was like, maybe before I get home, or I will need gas by the time I get home. So if I fill up now, it'll be all right. And so I was like, I'll pull up to the pump. Maybe she'll offer, maybe she won't. And so she saw this Long John Silver's, and said, she's like, oh, can we stop there? Because it was like right there. It was right there instead of the... It was right there instead of gas station. But keep in mind, this was supposed to be like a 3-hour trip.
I feel like this is Gilligan's Island. 3 or 2.
So this 3-hour trip that she wanted to stop, like,
make it here.
Right. So she wanted to stop, like, this is their 4th time that she wanted to stop, and she wanted to get food. I was like, you're fucking hungry again? I was like, God damn. And I was like, was
she bigger or smaller?
She was a little bit bigger, but I was like, I was super full, but I've been eating a lot less. Like, I've been, like, doing the intermittent fasting thing. So I was like, if I eat, I'm full, like, the rest of the day. And so she said, oh, you mind if I get some food, too, while we're here? She's like, I'll get you something. And I was like, but then I saw these, like, sriracha cheese curds. I was like, I am kind of interested in those. So she got them for me, and I ate a few of them, and then ended up eating the rest of them on the way home. But, so she got me those. So at this point, I'm like, okay, she probably spent like $10 in food on me now, so it's like I'm still like around $70 from her. And then we get to about 5 minutes from where I'm dropping her off. She's like, oh, here's another 40. So she gave me another 40.
Damn.
And so at this point, this is like, so she tipped me 80 in cash. She put 20 in my card, my car and gas, so there's 100. And then she had like $10 in food that I was like, I've got $110 from this woman. I haven't dropped her off yet. So, I drop her off, and then I get going, and then so I'm in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky. And so I'm driving back, trying to get to like more of a main highway because I have no internet service. So I'm like waiting for it to update to see how much I actually made off of her. And so I couldn't, so I just shut it off and waited. I was driving down the road, turned it back on, and I had $266 from that trip. And I was like, holy fuck. And so I looked, it only paid out $202. She actually tipped me another $66. So like at that $266, then the $110, I was like, I made like $375 off this woman.
Damn, the universe was all about you that day.
Yes. And then I was like, I had already made like $90 that day. So I was at like, so I made $370. So I was at like $465. And from start leaving my house to the time I got home, I was out for 13 and a half hours.
That's pretty damn good.
I was excited. I got home about 9 o'clock and I left my house like a little bit after 7:30.
Damn.
I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, I'm going to keep doing that. If I feel it and I'm just feeling like, at those moments, I felt super happy before I thought to do that. So at a moment that I feel super happy and just in a super, like, extravagantly good mood, I'm going to be like, all right, what's going to come to me? Universe, what are we doing? And I'm just going to ask for something and I'm going to see if I fucking get it. It was amazing. So
Now,
I was
I'm
like,
going to try that. I'm going to try that. Try it with me. Universe, I would like some more beer.
oh, okay, I thought he was going to ask me to have sex with him, like, ask the universe. And I'm like, you're not very happy.
I don't
know. I don't know if there's more beer.
You're extremely
Universe.
miserable.
You got to manifest it with me. Manifest more beer with me.
Oh, I'm manifesting more beer.
Man, we want more beer, universe. As Ariana walks away to go shit herself.
No, I forgot. It's not twisty.
Oh.
Just gotta get the cap.
No, I'm in a fucking amazing mood.
Okay.
I am now 3 days away from fucking vacation.
Fucking vacation.
It'll be a fucking great one. Because
Okay.
I'm going to manifest that shit.
Where? Tell us where, Ron.
I'm going to Mario Land.
Mario Land.
Mario Piscetti Land.
It's a me.
More appropriately, Miss Francis has decided that we need to go visit her son who's in the Air Force and he is stationed in Italy. So next week is Thanksgiving, and for Thanksgiving break, I'm going to spend it in Italy. Going to leave out Saturday morning before the ass crack of dawn, be on a plane for like 15, 16 hours, and be driving around in freaking Italy for a week. Part of my plans include going to Florence to see the statue of David that Michelangelo made.
Florence, y'all.
And I'm definitely taking a picture of it. Definitely going to post it. And I'm hoping Facebook's algorithms tag it as a real penis and ban me.
Okay, so this is Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint Porter. I don't know. 8.2%.
Ooh, nice. Those Kentucky bourbon barrels are good.
They are pretty good.
So when you go to a restaurant that doesn't really serve craft beer, they don't have a big list. And
they'll have these.
I was going to say, you're like Southwise, like not, basically opposite of this area, and you're more, I don't know, the Dayton area. They'll typically have that.
Oh, wow.
When I was in Kentucky,
Oh, wow.
they
I
didn't
get that hit of mint before you even get it up to my face.
Yeah, when I was in Kentucky, they didn't have a good list at the comedy place I went, but they did have some of those.
And those are good.
Not the peppermint, but just like the regular.
Right. This smells like a peppermint patty.
Yeah, like one of the freaking York peppermint patty things.
Ooh, and it tastes like it.
Mm-hmm.
Super good.
Super good.
And these are like super basic beers. They're not basic, but they're not like the thick, sweet, all that shit. Like, I think they do more of a minimal type than some
I've
of
had some of
their
their bourbon barrels that are pretty good.
They are good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just had one of their, I think a stout or something that was not bad, or maybe it was just a bourbon barrel.
So, since I probably won't be able to do this, but I was thinking, I'm like, you're going to go to Kentucky, or not Kentucky, you're going to go to Italy. And I was like, telling Ariana how it'd be really cool if I could get a dildo and like sneak it into your luggage, like a super huge dildo. And then they would stop you at customs. They'd be like, and what is this? And then you'd be like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's my big, huge black dildo.
Pretty sure dildo's an Italian word, or it's got an Italian base to it.
Diletto.
Yeah.
It's a little joy or I remember
Disney
looking it up. I looked it up. I remember looking it up like a senior year. Because
there's at least one of three of us is going to know this.
yeah.
Because I remember I looked it up because I forget why, But it ended up being that so they were created by doctors, and they
cured hysteria.
Yes, they basically women were crazy, so the doctor had to go. Okay, all right.
We'll get high and like do that. Yeah.
We talk about shit like that. That's why the vibrator was invented because doctors using one of these on chicks, they're obviously get tired. It took too long.
But the same thing.
But they come up with a vibrator. And it's like. Science.
I swear I also heard that the Egyptians made them, and they carved them out of like wood or something, and they filled them with bees so they would vibrate.
Cool.
Is what I heard. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know where I heard that one, but I think the Egyptians were onto something. I don't know.
And for Christmas?
Rumor has it the Egyptians harnessed the Earth's energy to create electricity, so they probably had plug-in vibrators. Is there an outlet in one of those fucking pyramids?
Didn't they have like a battery or something they found?
Yeah, they had like a basic battery that did some like real basic lighting stuff.
It fucking charged their dildos.
So the Egyptian, the ancient Egypt was around for like 5,000 years. There's got to have been enough time for them to maybe not like we do now for sure, but figured out some of that crap,
I think they had a whole lot more than what we think they did, and it's just, we're too stupid to know that. And they had a better way to do it. They had free ways to do this shit. They used resources, and it wasn't a major money-making rat race.
There's a lot of slave labor involved in that shit, but in that time period, I think probably the biggest problem then versus now, shit wasn't written down as much. Does it make sense? And they had hieroglyphs instead of like numbers and letters, so it made it harder.
I think we need to do our research and find out more about the history of dildos and vibrators.
There you go. Right on.
A special educational episode?
Mm-hmm.
That we should have research episodes.
I dig that. That's my kind of deal right there.
Right. So this could be like when we're in school. Okay, class.
We're gonna have homework for our podcast.
The research for this week is research dildos. You have to have at least 3 pages, quote your sources, and no Wikipedia.
Right.
We'll have like I don't know, some kind of.
And then we'll have
something corner of our podcast or something.
Yeah, we'll have segments and shit that we do.
We'll have to stand in front of the class and hold the paper up and read it just like this when you were there in school.
No.
Right.
No?
So there was a couple things that were funny. One story is my story. The other story is not my story, but I'm going to repeat the story. So Larry went to go look for another car. And this past weekend he went to Kalamazoo, Michigan with Curtis. And so when they got there, I get this text early in the morning because they left at like 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Saturday morning because they were going to go get the car and then do their day drinking shit, do all their shit, and then spend the night and then come back the next day. Get this text early in the morning like, motherfucker lied. It's got 100,000 miles more on it than what he said it did. And I was like, oh yeah? And so he said the dude played it off like it was just a mistake. I didn't know. I didn't mean to. And he's like, that dude fucking did it on purpose. He lied. I was like, he probably did. He knew you were coming from out of town, so he probably figured, fuck it, he'll probably buy it. And then so, he didn't buy it. And then, so they go back to their hotel, take a nap, and then they go to this bar. So they get an Uber to this bar. A casino. And so they're at the casino, they're wanting to leave. And apparently that whole area, especially where the casino is, which fucking dumbfounds me. I'm dumbfounded by it. But Uber's not big in that area. Not Uber, not like taxis, not Lyft. So they tried to get a ride and they couldn't. And he was like, he said it was like a 10-minute car ride. And I was like, or maybe even it was like a 30-minute car ride or something. I can't remember what it was. But
like
it was
Super Hicksville?
It was, no. Okay, so I don't know because there was a casino there. They were at a casino. They couldn't get a ride from the casino back to their hotel.
Kalamazoo is a pretty decent-sized area.
Right. And I was like, they just said it's not big. And I was like, so yeah, he said it was like a 30-minute car ride. Which, I mean, if it's like all in town, that could be 10 miles. But even to walk 10 miles at like 10, 11 p.m. in Michigan, it's probably 40 here, so it's probably 40 to 30 there, And I'm like, that would suck. And so I was like, all right, well, because his first text was, I'm going to have you turn your Uber light on and get down here. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I was like, you probably spend less on an Uber for them than for me. He was like, no, we can't find one. I was like, Jesus, but they were like 5-6 hours away. I was like, okay. I'm not going to drive just to do that. And they'll probably find a ride. I was like, 10 miles, worst comes to worst, I'll fucking walk. And so when he told me when he got home, he told me how they got back. He's like, they were asking around, like, do you guys know of anything here? So they asked like a bouncer or some dude at the casino. And the dude was like, oh, he's like, you know what? My baby mama's cousin's always trying to bum money off of me. He's like, how much will you pay? He's like, I'll pay $70 fucking dollars. He's like, yeah, she'll do it. And so like this random ass chick was gonna agree to get $70 from them. So he called and he's like, hey man, there's this Mexican and his friend that want they're gonna pay you $70, pick him up, take him here. And I was like, did they call you Mexican because she's into Mexicans? He's like, no. He goes, I looked at the guy, I said, do you think I'm Mexican? And dude was like, yeah. Thought Larry's Mexican.
It's a Mexican and an Irish man.
Right, Curtis is an Irish man. Larry is white. White is white. If I would have thought about that, I'm like, because I was kind of thought maybe
sometimes squints his eyes. Would that make him look Mexican?
No, because for a minute there, I thought maybe they thought Curtis was the Mexican. I'm like, no, I didn't know. Fucking redheaded, freckled ass Mexican. I was like, with blue eyes. I was no, that can't be. I was like, they thought you were the Mexican. He's like, yeah. So that's kind of funny.
I mean, I can't see it.
Right. I mean, it was like he even has this big bushy beard, and I'm like, Mexicans can't grow facial hair. I mean, they can, but not that good. Like, I've known plenty of Mexicans. They don't grow good facial hair usually.
I feel like I need to Photoshop a sombrero on him.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the Mexican in that picture.
Maybe like, darken his skin tone a little bit.
Right? There's no Mexican there. But so anyway.
Senor Laddie.
So the other day, what was I doing? I was on Facebook. I was on my computer for once because I was doing video editing shit. And I got on Facebook. Real quick. I would definitely do this a 5.
A 5?
Yeah. I like it that much.
I'm going with like a 4 or 5 because I'm not a big fan of like minty flavors, but it's pretty good.
I like minty flavors a lot.
I like this because
4 or 5.
I'll tell the story about why I like this after I tell my little story.
Will you tell that story? I'm going to go tell a story in the bathroom. Love.
Okay,
I'm eating.
Well, Ron needs to be here for the one story.
Fine, I'll hold it just for you.
Yeah, don't be a bitch, Ron.
Well, it's really funny because when I was on the computer and I was doing the things that I was doing, I was on Facebook and I was checking out certain things on Facebook. For some reason, I was on Ron's profile. And I was checking out like how you see people's friends and how you do this like for like networking purposes. And so I scrolled down and I was like, oh, there's his likes and follows. And I was like, let's just see who Ron follows. Let's see if he follows any porn shit. And I'm scrolling through and I'm like, I see plenty of nerd shit, which is to be expected. And I see some beer shit. And then I see all this like weird shit that's like, and every time I click on it, it's like, it's another movie that his friend Henry did a movie. So it was like a Facebook fan page for the movie. I was like, all right, that makes sense. And then, I come across and there's like this like cute little anime chick. And I'm like, that's typical for Ron. And shocked, but not shocked to find out that he still follows Cummy the Clown.
I don't clean that shit up. I should go through and clean that shit up. And it's easy to like and then never unlike things.
And then going through, I was like, I did not know this person existed, but he also likes the amazing Boobzilla.
Oh, dude, Boobzilla was the shit. So, Boobzilla, I saw them, I don't know what they identify as anymore. I saw them like years and years ago at a freak show, okay? Boobzilla is this chickly dude with these fucking huge tits. And like during the freak show, they were doing like, she was doing these shit with her boobs, like crushing cans and like just destroying things. Like her boobs were like basically giant goddamn wrecking balls. At some point since I saw her live, she stopped taking like whatever it was and shaving. And she's now got like a goatee beard longer than mine.
So now she's the bearded woman?
Yes.
Sweet.
It's like some circus sideshow shit. Boobzilla is fucking awesome.
The amazing Boobzilla.
I'm telling you, that the times I've seen her live have been some awesome freak show level shit.
I want to see the amazing Boobzilla now.
Dude, she was fucking great. That was, hell, Last time I saw her, it was still with April. That's been a long goddamn time.
Jesus.
But yeah, the Amazing Boobzilla is awesome. You should definitely check her out. Facebook, YouTube, Insta, all that bullshit.
Oh, he's got it on everything.
I don't follow her on anything but on Facebook. I don't follow anybody on my Insta because, like, I'm lazy. And I don't follow anybody on YouTube because I don't like what the YouTube algorithms do when I start liking things. I like to just let it figure me out. I get more interesting shit that way.
Interesting.
Because if I started liking, the nerd things, the motorcycle things, the beer things, that's all I'm going to ever see.
They would have you pegged. And you'd be like,
put it in harder.
and then you start getting videos for that.
How to peg on YouTube.
That'd be hilarious. How to peg on YouTube.
But anyway, since you're stalking my likes, did you see anything that's going to trigger you greatly other than Cummy the Clown and Boobzilla there?
No, I was a little actually disappointed. You have a pretty normal follow likes page. I thought you were going to have like deep dark, like fucking perverse, twisted, like fucked in the head sex follow shit. Not necessarily sex, but porn. Well, that is sex, but
So,
or Amazing Boobzilla.
So the problem with
Amazing
Facebook
Boobzilla.
and porn is that it never lasts. And most of the things on Facebook, if it's of a sexual nature, it's probably someone trying to just get money out of you or a scam.
That's fair. That's true. He's already looked into the shit.
No, it's just logic. It's Facebook. I don't trust anything like that. I mean, honestly.
You looked into it. All of your porn sites that you followed got deleted, so you got discouraged and you stopped following porn sites.
It's like Elon Musk and freaking Twitter right now, where anybody can be Twitter verified for $8 and create fake profiles.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
You pay your $8
I'm gonna create
and
a porn page of Ron. A verified porn page of Ron.
all right, baby.
Just be like Ron's head photoshopped on like women's bodies or something.
That was something we did back. Oh my god! So shit. Back in the day, this bitch and I, when we were in high school, we had like a class and they were teaching us to use Photoshop and shit. And this bitch and I, for goddamn ever, were like had a competition where we'd go back and forth by email and take each other's hits.
This is how we had to send this shit.
That's how long ago it was. Where we take face shots, and it was before digital cameras were common.
We had to upload the shit. We had to upload
photos and different things. And we would go to porn sites, find the most god-awful, depraved things, and then Photoshop each other's face onto it.
And they were so easy to find online like that, too. Like, I found a picture of some dude blowing himself. Like, I don't even know how I found the shit.
I think the one that got me the best, and I still have it burned in mind.
Ask Jeeves.
Back in the day was this, like, bald-headed dude, and I had hair back then, so let's put that in perspective. Bald-headed dude who had his head shoved up some chick's vagina.
But, so, you were the chick, though.
You photoshopped my face onto the dude.
No. The dude's head was shoved up her vagina.
I just remember the dude's head being shoved up the vagina.
If the head was shoved up the vagina, how would his face be there?
I don't know, but
his face wasn't there because I put your face on the chick's face. She was a blonde, and I put your face on there.
I feel like I've seen this picture.
Probably.
There was just the look that Ron had on his face looked like a painful look face because I took that picture. That picture was from when me and Ron went to like Myers. And we fucked everything up at the store where we were putting like stupid shit. Like we put condoms in the candy aisle and we put the candy on the condom thing. And then I put like, there were these dogs and we were making these like stuffed animal dogs hump. And I put one behind him and he was bent over on all floors in the store going. And that's the picture I took. So I put on the girl's face or on the girl's head. And then he had the head up in his vagina. And that's what I did.
I still have it stuck in my head that some chick's vagina was big enough that a dude was just like shoving his whole ass head up there.
I kind of wondered that myself. I was like, did that really happen or was it Photoshopped?
It could have been Photoshopped.
I wondered that back then because I was like, because his face on her head looked super realistic. And I'm like, if I can make that look that realistic, and I'm not even really a pro, I was like, what if people that were pros at it, to could actually do it, that they did Photoshop for a living, like what could they do?
I remember, let's see, there was another one where I had spent way too much time where I had Photoshopped Missy into a cartoon having like some kind of fucking gangbang orgy with like Mickey and Goofy or some shit.
No, it was like a green cartoon rabbit.
I just remember photoshopping you into a cartoon, and it took way too long
It
to
looked
make
really
convincing.
good.
I think another time I'd like photoshopped you onto a girl with a pogo stick.
Yeah, in the vagina. You had me on this super huge obese lady, and there were multiple, it was like amateur photos. There were multiple pictures of it. And at the time, I was, you had the chat rooms. So, like, I was trolling the chat rooms, and I was talking to this one dude. I don't even know where he was from, but he wanted to see pictures of me, so I was like, all right. And then I sent the pictures, and he was like, and he just like tried to backpedal how he didn't want to talk to me anymore. I was like, dude, you don't like me because I'm fat? And like, I just trolled him and made him feel so bad, and then I like sent him normal pictures of me, and then we became friends. I never met him in real life, and I don't even remember if I ever saw a picture of him. He's like, oh, that really wasn't you. And I was like, yeah, my buddy did that. He photoshopped my face on there. He was like, damn, man. And, we like laughed about that, and we just like chatted online every once in a while, and it was pretty funny.
That's funny.
The best part about the Photoshop story, by the way, my daughter is learning how to use Photoshop. She was telling me earlier this week, they had some class where they had to Photoshop 3 animals together.
Ooh, why? I mean,
just to learn the tools.
I would have done that, but I would have done it in like a sexual way. I'd be like, you mean like this?
Remind me of the human centipede.
Well, like
my
ass to mouth.
Well, like it was like
I'd
an
be like,
animal.
did you mean like this? I would have asked my teacher. I'm confused about the assignment.
Well, she was sitting there like bitching about how hard it was to use this stuff. And she was like, it has to be like.
I would have gotten so trouble. I got suspended for that shit.
Oh, I was like, dude, I was like, I wanna go to that class. What? I just want to go to that class, and it's for real Photoshop, not GIMP shop. Yeah.
We barely have any water.
That IPA had a lot of haze to it.
It did.
But she was sitting there talking about that shit in class. I'm like, dude, I would love to do that. It was like,
that's great.
Like she put like the head of a cat, the body of a bird, and like, I don't know, the legs of a dog. I'm like, dude, that fucking shit sounds amazing. I would do the hell out of that.
That'd be fun.
I swear I'm broken. Like, since the first thing I thought was a human centipede, I'm like, God damn, what is wrong with me?
I made it into an orgy, so I wasn't much better.
But I was just like, that sounds amazing. She's like, it's stupid. They're not telling me what to do. I'm like, just fucking do
You have to be
whatever.
creative, right? Your daughter's a creative person. How come she doesn't want to be creative?
Because she's just being an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, that class sounds like the most fun thing ever. I want to go sit in your class.
I would totally do that.
I would
have totally human centipeded that shit.
I would have got suspended
like
right the hell out of that school. But man, it would have been some awesome shit.
Are we ready for beer number 3?
Ron has to tinkle.
Oh, let's let Ron tinkle first.
Beer number
Boo.
3 after I pee.
Boo!
Talk about
We should just split it and chug it and say, well, you missed it, dude. Son of a bitch.
So.
Oh, hell. I forget the other story. Oh, yeah, it was the peppermint patty story. What were you going to say?
I don't know. Nothing.
So I'll tell the peppermint patty story. He doesn't need to be here for that. So a long time ago, when I had the boyfriend Keith and he was buddies with Victor, and they all hung out at Larry Eikenberry's house, and we would hang out and drink a lot. Victor had this thing where he bought some Rumplemints, and he's like, dude, I'm going to drink this, and it's so strong. It takes your breath away. And like none of us pussy-ass kids could drink the shit. So he started mixing it with Pepsi, and he was like, ooh, it tastes like a peppermint patty. And he would drink it, and he's like, he would call it a peppermint patty. And I really didn't think it tasted like a peppermint patty, but it was actually pretty good. And so he would just sit around and get drunk off them like all the time. And it tasted a lot like that. The Rumplemints and Pepsi. Really? Oh, yeah. That tasted a little bit more beer-like. It tasted a little bit more like the peppermint patty, but it tasted pretty similar.
I'm trying to think of who Victor is.
Victor Lapierre?
I remember the name, but I just can't picture what he looks like.
He was that man whore that was really good looking. You, me, and Kelly went to his house on a New Year's. I don't even know. Kelly must have drove us there.
Dude, you know how high I was back then.
I don't know how to describe him. He's very good looking, and he's like, the way that he was, we stayed there for a while, hung out with him and his brother in his room or whatever, and he's like, wait, I have to get a hug from you guys, my new friends, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And like or a hug and a kiss or something. So like you and me hugged him, kissed him on the cheek or whatever. And then Kelly leans in and she's like all fucking making out with him before he leaves. And I was like, Jesus, like.
We were like lucky, probably.
Right. Like I was just kind of shocked. I was like.
How are we making out with?
This dude named Victor.
I can remember the name, and that vaguely sounds familiar, but I do not remember it.
He extremely good looking, but
What was his last name?
Victor Lapierre. He was like, back in that time, he chronically lied about everything. Like, I don't know, he was a lot of fun to hang out with, but you just couldn't trust him with shit.
Where's he from?
Greenville?
Oh, nope.
I work with a dude named Victor from that area who's about our age, and I was just curious for a second. I was just curious.
Definitely not him. That's cool. I guess we're ready for the Mysterious Burious.
The Mysterious Burious, the Dos Equis.
That's right.
So, my youngest nephew turned 3 the other day.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
We had a little birthday party for him on Sunday.
I saw Ian's shirt in the pictures. I really liked his Oscar shirt.
Oh, yeah, the Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah. It's like all jealous and shit.
So, ooh, that's a different color.
Looks like tea diarrhea.
So we sang happy birthday. Like, they had a Cookie Monster cake for him.
I saw that.
And we sang happy birthday to him. And it was funny because his whole face just, like, was so happy. And he's just like, oh, you know, like, they're singing to me. And he was, like, really happy. And then as soon as we got done singing happy birthday, his brother blew out the candles.
I saw that video on Facebook. It was so funny. He's like, oh, just
That's a
power move by Carl.
Yeah.
Way to go.
And then you just,
sibling rivalry and hatred of brothers come from things like that.
and then you just saw, like, the little one's face completely fall, and he almost started crying. And Jamie had to relight the candles for it. It was fucking funny. And then when they were watching the video later, his older brother was, like, laughing every time he saw him blowing out the candle.
Oh, damn, that's ruthless. Like, ah, my kids would do that shit to each other.
So I'm getting like a hint of berry.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking,
Is that so accurate?
Mm-hmm,
I was thinking apple cider type.
I'm getting like a hint of maybe a strawberry berry kind of a smell.
Or either that or it was like an Oreo cookie. I had an IPA smell. A cranberry.
That is not what I was expecting.
Well, that's very smooth.
Ooh.
Very smooth, kind of a creamy texture. Not lactose creamy, but very smooth.
I don't know. It's
not like
raisiny.
it's not like any sort of like a
Oatmeal cookie
milkshake
is what
IPA kind of a thing, is it?
It's what?
Is it like a milkshake strawberry kind of a IPA thing?
It's a milkshake IPA.
Okay.
I was gonna say I had the IPA scent from it. It's a milkshake IPA.
Like a raspberry cherry?
Cherry.
Okay.
Chocolate cherry.
Chocolate cherry.
Ooh, that's good.
I don't get the chocolate very much, but it's
Oh.
Sonder. Chocolate cherry frosted.
Chocolate covered cherry beer. Nice.
Milkshake IPA with chocolate and cherries.
Oh, this is good.
It is good. It's like different than what I was expecting. This is 7.2%. And
I would drink another one of these.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I haven't had Saunders in a while. This is very good.
Neither have I.
I saw it, like, I was looking for something today. Like, I had these two already, and I needed one more. And I was like, I didn't know if I was going to make this one, the peppermint one, mysterious. I'm like, they're going to guess that in, like, a heartbeat, you know?
Yeah.
So I was, like, walking through, and I was looking, and I didn't find anything that was all that interesting, you know? And then, like, I saw that, and I'm like, that's the one.
So
There was,
good.
like, no thought to it whatsoever. It was like, that's it.
So, after I get back from our field trip that next week, and I'm excited, since we're all free, Dark Charge Day at Braxton.
Yes.
That is going to be a fun day. And if it's anything like last year, I no drive.
Yeah, I could drive.
Because I would like to enjoy all that bourbon and shit. They've got...
I could drive, but don't puke in my car.
Oh, no. Zach has been sending me pictures every morning. I set my Christmas party for the weekend following because of that. And he's all, yeah, I can't go because my wife's only letting me have one out a month with my friends. I'm like, you bastard.
I'm shocked he's not going to the Dark Charge Day.
He is going to Dark Charge Day. He's not coming to my party.
Gotcha.
That's okay. I'll try to pester him into it, and then he'll have a shitty couple weeks with his wife.
We can bring the wife.
Does she not come to those things?
She's been there before, but they've got the baby now, so who knows?
You can take the baby to that kind of function, because especially if she's not really going to be drinking.
Yeah, if you're not really drunk, it's not like your parties get real crazy or anything. I mean, it's not like we're like...
But at the same, I think it's like the whole, because last year he wanted to go, but she's like, it's supposed to snow. I don't really think it snowed even. Like, it wasn't bad.
She's been, she's really, like, tightened the reins on him, especially
They live
since
in
the baby.
Cincinnati. Like,
Yeah, that's a long drive.
So-
for snow.
I don't know. Hopefully he'll be able to come, but if not, well, I'll kick his ass at Dark Church Day or something. I don't know. This is a very good beer.
This is really good.
Like, I don't know. I was expecting it to be a darker beer.
I would expect it too. But it's just not very syrupy. I think maybe it's got a red tint from the cherries because the cherries will be more than what the chocolate is. And if it's a milk chocolate versus a dark chocolate,
it's almost a caramely color. It's like an amber caramely.
It's almost like, well, they got the chocolate covered cherry in the can, so it puts me in the mindset of those like cordial cherry things you see all over the place at Christmas time.
So I was thinking the Versailles Winery has a chocolate covered cherry wine.
Ooh.
And I was kind of thinking it was going to taste similar to that.
I think I've had that wine before, and I think it's super good.
It's just really
I think I had it like last year.
Is it super tart or is it not tart?
It's really sweet.
It's really sweet. It comes in like this bottle that's like really tall and skinny.
Yeah,
it's like
it
about
is.
this big around.
It's a
like
weird
really
looking
neat
bottle.
So
It could totally double as a fucking dildo if you put bees in it and shit.
True, if you're brave enough.
Yeah.
it's your pussy. It's your pussy. Get that OnlyFans going on.
That's right. There you go.
I'm
Just make sure you drill holes in it depending on which way you put it in.
Well, either that or you just put a cap on it.
Did we talk about the anal jar guy last time?
Yeah, I think we did. The one guy, one jar. Didn't I tell you about that?
I think so.
Where
But I was shocked you'd never seen it, and the dude sat on the pickle jar and it fucking just crushed up his ass.
he was like, he was pulling the glass shards out of his asshole with bleeding hands and bleeding asshole.
It's possible that I wasn't that I zoned out for a minute, and because it's partially. It sounds a little.
It sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar. It sounds like something I repressed. Thanks, guys. I repressed that.
That's
you
probably
fucks.
true. Kind of like the Fruit Loops thing. Wait,
Oh, I love the Fruit Loops thing. That's so great.
dude, it cracked me up because somebody put a picture of like a Fruit Loops statue, like a little like statue thing or something, and it said, "If you know, you know."
Like, yeah, I'm like, God damn it, I don't want to know. There was like the weirdest, it was like a bowl looking thing where like the top of it looked like a blown open, was it her ass? It was her ass. Okay, I was like, I thought it was her vagina for a minute, but it was like a blown open asshole, and then it was like lined with the Fruit Loops, like that was a bowl, and I was like, and I didn't even see the "if you know, you know." I knew what it was immediately. I was like, oh my God, because I was like, for one, I would want that bowl. Like, I would use it as my cereal bowl. Like,
What would you use her ass as your cereal bowl?
No, that's fucking icky. Like, I don't want her E. coli. That's just icky. Yeah.
Frosted E. coli.
Frosted E. coli. That's great.
I wonder if you can like bank on that and be like, "This bowl is for Fruit Loops only," or something.
Well, other than the fact that I don't eat a lot of Fruit Loops because those are the kinds of cereal that just fucking shred the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
I would probably eat Fruit Loops more often.
I haven't had those in years.
Neither
Probably.
have I.
I haven't finished my pile of Halloween breakfast cereals yet.
I'm partial to all like Frankenberry and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I've got Frankenberry, Boo Berry. They have like a 4-pack of them at Sam's with the Fruit Brute.
I'm partial to Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah. If I don't buy something like that, I'm always trying to, like all cereal is like garbage, but I'll buy bran flakes or like corn flakes or the frosted mini wheats. I try to buy something that at least pretends to be healthier usually, but like,
I get Honey Bunches of Oats a lot.
I get that too.
I don't remember the whole story, but cereal like that was originally invented to stop masturbation.
Dude, I just saw that online
what?
the other day. I shit you not, I saw that online the other day, and I forget, I looked it up as
Because
to
it's
why
so
it was
delicious?
supposed to.
There was a whole fucking movie about that. I remember watching back in the day.
I need to know why.
I looked it up. I looked it up and I can't remember why. Invention of cereal. Let's see. Invention of Kellogg's cereal. Kellogg's originally did that. Cornflakes, or cornflakes, spelled differently, are the breakfast cereal originally made from toasting flakes of corn. The cereal, originally made with wheat, was created for patients at Battle Creek Sanitarium where he worked with his brother. All right, the original purpose. Kellogg was working with his brother Will on a new kind of wheat meal for patients at the sanitarium when processed that result in cornflakes. Oh, come on.
Road to Wellville, 1994.
Right. So, but I wonder if that's like a fake thing because I've heard that before and I've heard it. I heard it the other day where Kellogg's cornflakes invented to stop masturbation. This is metro.co.uk. What's the fact checker is the website.
Snopes.
There you go. Rumor has it that the reason behind the recipe was to act as anti-masturbatory morning meal. The usual state of staple breakfast cereal has recently done the round on TikTok, making thousands of people research its history. Is there any truth in this, or was it all just hearsay? Here's all you need to know about cornflakes were invented. Okay, so it says the thing about the sanitarium bullshit. It seems odd someone should make deliberate tasteless foods, but it's all part of an extreme diet promoted by his church aimed at suppressing passion. He was a Seventh-day Adventist, a branch of Christianity that advocated strict vegetarian diet devoid of alcohol, caffeine, or meat. In addition,
Not us.
Kellogg was a fervent believer of abstinence and believed sex and masturbation were unhealthy and abnormal.
Boo!
Not
People
us.
were crazy back then. You know what? I say people were crazy back then, but you have people now arguing what shape the Earth is, and they think there's the fucking ice wall, and there's 13 more continents on the outside of the ice wall.
Crazy just takes new shapes all the time.
Right. So you know what? And I'm open to hear the story about the other 13 continents. I'm like excited to hopefully someday go there. Who fucking knows? And then the inside of the Earth is filled with like chocolate covered dinosaurs, and I can't wait to see that either. Like, I'm
gonna go eat me some chocolate covered fucking dinosaurs.
There's some I forget what they call it, but it's like there's the hollow Earth theory, and I don't know what I would be more like if I had to believe one of the conspiracies that were like the way out there outlandish conspiracies. I don't know which one I could believe more. I don't know.
I'm gonna say that like I've got belief in none of them because of all the shit they've sent out there. Yeah, sure.
So it's not even round shape. The Earth doesn't even have a shape. Fuck the Earth.
The Earth's more like fucking like slightly squashed out oval.
I
Anyway.
think I would say square.
Nah, it's spinning, so it's a little bulgy at the middle.
But anyway, no, that's not bulgy. Well, it's bulgy on the ends, not the middle.
Well, there's more ocean water in the middle because the spinny. But whatever.
There you go. Or wait, maybe I'm dumb. Who fucking knows? So, in addition, Kellogg was... Okay, I already said that. In his book, Plain Facts for Old and Young, embracing his natural history and hygiene of organic life, he described what he saw as the negative effects of masturbation. Mood swings, bad posture, acne, baldness.
My posture is great. I got acne
Stiff
in here.
joints, palpitations, as well as taste for spicy foods to be the side effect of double abominable crime.
Interesting. I have a lot of those symptoms.
I don't have mood swings. I don't think I have bad posture. I don't think I have great posture. I don't get a lot of acne anymore. I don't have baldness. I don't have stiff joints. I don't think I have palpitations. But I do have a taste for spicy food.
I have the last three.
I'm just gonna say if you get
Baldness?
bad,
I don't have baldness.
Stiff joints, palpitations,
and spicy foods.
if y'all's
posture.
if y'all getting bad posture, how
I try to
often?
have mood swings sometimes.
Okay.
If y'all getting bad posture, how often do you actually spend over jerking off? Goddamn.
I feel like you could easily stand up straight, jerk off. I mean, unless you want to look at it.
Okay, so here's the thing. From now on, everybody, when we jerk off, we're all gonna. What they say for good posture, you balance a book on your head.
Does that only work for dudes though, or is it just because your like shoulders like hunched over like this?
So anyway, the trick here is the next time y'all jerk off, put a book on your head to balance to make sure you have good posture while you're doing it.
That's a good idea, Ron.
And if the book falls off while you're jerking
you guys
off,
stop jerking off and start all over again.
Come on, yeah, that's a good idea.
that's your race to jerk off before the book falls off.
So have to nut before the book falls off.
I'm just saying, like, though, I don't know how most women masturbate.
doing almost.
I would say you're probably like in a laying down position like the majority of the time. So I'm wondering how it fucks up your posture.
Because if you're laying down, you could still be doing like one of these things to bend over.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Draw us pictures, okay?
Unless you're like weird and you do it from behind. I think if you like I
think that would make your posture better though.
I think it would. Like every other time you masturbate, you go up front and between your legs, and then the next time you go from behind. So it's like you're basically, it's like a yoga pose.
My question about that guy is,
and then you gotta do it left-handed too. So it's like you're doing it.
Yeah, you gotta get this. You gotta get the symmetry in it too.
So I've got all sorts of interesting images in my head. I hope you do too.
You hold stretches. You're holding the yoga stretch.
True.
It's called like the fuck, man.
Happy baby?
I was gonna say like the forward facing cat or something, the forward cat stroke.
See, if you're doing it as yoga poses though.
And then you can be doing the backward cat stroke, like.
Just remember, if you're doing yoga poses while you're jerking off, remember to breathe.
Right, it's all about the breath, man. It's all about the breath.
But I'm saying, are you like laying on your stomach when you're going from behind, or are you standing up?
I mean, you can be laying on your side. But you can't be doing that necessarily. You have to be doing it.
What are the logistics here?
I feel
Ron's like off in La La Land.
I feel like you need to be laying on your stomach.
I'm still trying to figure out the like bad where it causes bad posture.
You have to be doing it. You have to be laying on your stomach. So when your legs are up like this, you're curling your legs up. You're holding that. That's building more muscle than if you're on your side. So that's the yoga pose that you got. You got to be on your stomach. Like it's like the Superman. But it's not, like you do the Superman, your like legs are up and your arms are up like this, and you're on your stomach.
Are you doing like a double-handed thing?
The Superman or the super jerk?
The super jerk. The super jerk. That's what it'd be called. Like this one, I don't know what that would be called yet. But the backwards one, it'd be like the left-handed super jerk and the right-handed super jerk.
The double super jerk?
Yeah, the double super jerk. Uh-huh. And that's when you're getting yourself from behind. And then so if you're laying
yourself from behind, so you're like what, sticking one up your butt on purpose and one on the front?
No, you're like got your arm, you're giving yourself the old reach around, like.
Coming soon to Destroying Butt Plugs Only fans.
We will create a whole new line of yoga poses.
I feel like it's probably already a thing, but
I'm going to look that up. But hold on. So we're back to Kellogg in the fight against masturbation. So to fight off any potential desire, he worked on ways people could curb sexual impulses, including creating cornflakes as well as a contraption that ran water through the bowels before following it with yogurt and delivered between the mouth and anus.
Say what? You ran yogurt and water up your asshole?
Yep.
Wait, what? Yeah, read that again, please.
To fight off any potential desire, sexual desire, he worked on ways people could curb sexual impulses, including creating cornflakes, as well as a contraption that ran water through the bowel before following it with yogurt. So he sent water through the bowel and then yogurt through the bowel, delivered between the mouth and anus. So
I feel like some people would probably be into that.
I'm feeling like, shit running up your anus is going to do something for the fucking prostate there, man.
And like, were they going ass to mouth? Like,
I think he was just getting off on.
I think he was. He's like, ooh, I'm going to tell everybody I hate sex, and I'm going to tell them I have to stick things in their ass so I can keep them from having sex.
I'm sure that's how that kind of stuff works.
He was just jerking off from behind when they were like, oh, I'm getting stuffed with this yogurt. And you're like, I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
So, seriously, on that same topic, why is it those that are like, I'm against sex and masturbation? Why are those this yogurt is so warm? Why are those that are against sex and masturbation, oftentimes the most fucked up ones? What was that fucking, big Republican preacher guy, had a bunch of TV shows and shit, and turned out his wife was having sex with their fucking pool boy, and he was all getting off on it and shit.
Oh, I don't know. He was like a cuck?
Yeah. Big name fucking Republican. He had like his own like religious TV channel and shit.
Yoga poses.
Ah, yes.
I don't know.
Was he fat and bald?
Maybe. Hang on.
I don't know. Maybe I missed that.
Masturbation yoga poses.
Bringing the important topics to you.
That's right. I started masturbating in yoga poses and it blew my mind. 2 yoga poses for whole body orgasm. How changing the way you masturbate can change your life. Girl boner. And the girl boner is a registered trademark, but it's August McLaughlin. That's their website. 11 orgasmic yoga facts. What is it? How does it work? High plank shoulder
Jerry
taps.
Falwell, fuck.
Oh, I didn't know that guy.
Jerry Falwell.
What's he look like?
He had like one of those evangelical TV like Christian shows, and like his wife was like screwing the pool boy, and it's some.
He looks normal.
And at like some point or another, like basically, like Jerry was like, keep screwing my wife, and the dude got a girlfriend, and there was like, no, I'm done screwing my wife. It's like, no, you need to keep screwing my wife, or I'm gonna tell everybody. And
That's funny shit.
He eventually like lost his job as whatever the evangelical like shit he was doing.
He doesn't look familiar to me. I must have missed that.
I was gonna say, yeah, like, I mean, I thought you were talking about the one dude. I think he got in a lot of arguments with Joe Rogan.
Maybe. Falwell was like a big like proponent of Trump when he started doing all of his shit. Like he's, the conservative leader, and Falwell was like, at that time, like, the super big, like, I'm an evangelical Christian, everything is perfect. Me and my wife, we don't ever do anything fucked up, and they're fucking the pool boy.
Yeah, it sounds
Yoga, masturbation, porn videos, and Pornhub. Let's see what we got. Oh, well, there's a picture of her ass. There's I did yoga for the ass, and my pussy got very aroused. I had to come right on the yoga mat. It's naked. That's ew.
Dude, that's like a whole fucking like porn thing if you look on Pornhub
I was
anyway.
gonna say, that's just like naked yoga poses. Like there's no special poses to masturbate.
No, naked yoga and yoga poses are for people to masturbate too. They don't usually have the masturbating. At best, in most of those videos that you'll find, like the chick will be giving some like crazy yoga pose, and if there's a dude there, he'll like, if she's not stripping down naked by the end of it, they'll like rip a hole in her pants and fuck her through it in some kind of yoga pose.
Right, but my thing is...
Not that I've watched any porno, ever.
So these are just all normal yoga poses, so we need to start getting on the invent yoga. Like the actual, like, yoga-bation. That's what we should call it.
Yoga-bation.
You'll find your zen.
Masturbation.
You're going to find your zen from within, yoga-bation.
I like that. The zen from within, yoga-bation.
That's it. That's our giver's quick scheme.
How do you find your center? By posing in such a way to actually see your center and then jerk off.
Yoga-bation. Yeah. How to control masturbation by yoga.
Masturbation by yoga? Anyway. Let's be blunt here, though, folks. Masturbation is a perfectly healthy, normal thing. Like, dudes, if you're not jerking off, you're gonna, no matter what, at some point in the night have a wet dream and fucking cream your fucking pants anyway. So, control when you're getting it out.
Just fucking jerk it.
I mean,
just when you got a hard on, you must whip it. Whip it good.
I mean, yeah. It's a fucking natural thing. Like, don't go around jacking it all over the place. Jack it in church, jack it in school, jack it in work.
The more you know. Do, 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 do.
But, like, it's a normal thing. Like, all the anti-sex shit they used to have, like, there used to be, like, during, like, God, I want to say, like, the late 1800s and all that sort of shit, early 1920s, there was, like, devices you could get to put on your dick when you go to sleep to prevent what they called nocturnal discharge, where basically it would be more or less like a cage you put around your cock, and if you started getting a boner while you were asleep,
I feel
you would
like
get your dick poked. You'd get your dick poked with a spike, before it got hard enough, and you go, wake up and go, oh God, I have to do the Lord's work to get rid of this boner before I come and sin.
I feel like you could shoot a load with a soft wiener.
Well, it's going to come out no matter what, but
I feel
they're like the lines in the Bible that are like, it's better to fuck your sister than to jerk off and waste your seed on the ground.
I want to see that fucking passage. Ron's like, I'm going to look this shit up.
Keep talking. We don't have...
That's just pretty much it. I want to see that passage. I want to see all of the bad passages, and I want to see... I really... There should be a site that just has all the contradictory passages, or the passages that are like the bad ones, that like the shit that you shouldn't be doing. And then I want to see all of those. There should be a site that has all those. I want to verify it in the Bible, and then I want to use that for argument's sake against people who want to try to argue me and my beliefs. That's how I roll.
Hell yeah.
Oh God, there's like 36 of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a lot, and it's coming from openbible.info. Let's see, Leviticus something or other. If a man has an emission of semen, he shall bathe his body in water and be unclean until the evening. Every garment on his skin which the semen has come in contact shall be washed and unclean until the evening. If the man lies with a woman and has an emission of semen, both of them shall bathe themselves in water and be unclean until evening.
I don't get it, because they should bathe themselves in water and be unclean until the evening. What's making them clean?
Getting rid of all the semen? I don't know. Like, a lot of this shit, it's like, basically, if you have sex, because, sex is like the original sin or something,
right?
You're bad. I'm going to see if I can't find that one. No. I ain't going to read all these, because, fuck that. No. Let marriage be held in honor. If a man has an emission of semen, he shall bathe his whole body in water. Somebody who wrote those things had issues of, like, dudes jerking off. Something about fire. God, there's just too damn many. Do not present your members to sin as instruments of unrighteousness. Yeah, there is a lot of them. I'm not going to read them all, because they're all bullshit. It's perfectly natural if you want to
That's what we're going to look up and study and do our reports on. Bible verses that tell you weird shit that you just can't fucking believe.
I don't know, I've read different interpretations of those kind of things, and how it's all twisted around to fit into the church's idea of what it is.
Speaking of fucked up things in churches, there's a high chance I'm going to go to the Vatican.
Nice.
That would be cool.
Are you going to fucking molest the Pope? Please molest the Pope.
God, when you say that, I think about my ex, and that is just the worst.
Ooh, molest the Pope. Molest April.
There's a good chance, though, because I want to see that painting that the Ninja Turtle painted on the ceiling.
Is there the Ninja Turtle painting on the ceiling?
Yeah, the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo painted the God and man pulling the finger
I
on the
was
ceiling.
really confused, but then yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah, so it's a whole thing. I've got to sit down and finish my to-do list, because...
Molest the Pope.
Molest the Pope. Be like, come here, Pappy. I'm going to make you scream daddy.
We got to storm the Vatican. The Pope can't molest us all.
The problem with going after the Pope is I'm going to have a hard time attracting him. I'm not his type. I don't look like a young boy.
Shave that face again.
Shave the face
the
again.
whole body. Nair the
I feel like you looked older with the shaved face.
I think so too.
The only answer I've got is if I put on the collar and dress like one of them. And be like,
yes.
I'm a seeking audience with the Pope. And I'd be like, hello, Pope. How's your cock on the balls? And that's how I got shot in the Vatican City.
I really feel like
I would be excited.
Your piss poor impression of Italian speaking English. I don't think that's how they sound.
I would be thrilled and amazed if I see the Pope Mobile, because if I see the Pope Mobile and he does anything
I don't know what the Pope Mobile looks like.
It looks like a regular ass car with a bulletproof glass roof.
Oh.
But the important part is, if I see it, I am totally going to whip my phone out and go, no, 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 Pope-mobile! Probably not. But
I still think you should try to molest the Pope. Make a lot of jokes about it at the Vatican.
Shh. The Vatican's technically a separate country from Italy also.
Awesome.
So, yeah, apparently you like show passports or get in or some bullshit from Italy.
That's weird.
Huh.
There's also admission, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because they're a separate entity from everybody.
Yeah, there's also like...
That's how they get away with molesting people.
That makes sense.
There's also like a couple like little weird separate like countries in Italy I didn't know about because I've been like deep diving on shit the last few days. But like San Marco apparently, I thought it was a city, but apparently it's its own little separate micronation, they call it.
Interesting.
And all the buildings there are apparently dating from like 1100 BC.
Man, that's the shit.
Like,
yeah.
that is like really old shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
1,000-year-old buildings.
Yeah. People are just living and doing whatever. I'm going, huh, neat.
I know, and like I heard people like from those areas are like, everybody's making a big deal that we have all these old buildings or whatever, and like they don't think of it as a big deal, and it's kind
It's
of
a
like
fucking big deal.
it is kind of a big deal because we don't have old shit like that here.
Right.
Like, the oldest shit we have in America is like 200 years old.
I mean, there's probably like some old stuff.
I don't know what the old building. I mean, if you
You know,
count
like-
the fucking mounds or something, the serpentine
Yeah,
mounds and
like-
shit like that.
Native American type
Maybe
stuff.
if you go to like, New England, you'll find some shit that's getting in that age, but that not really,
Well, I mean, there was like people here before us.
Yeah, but like when all the white man settled, anything that would have been here before them generally got like, decimated and removed because they didn't give a shit.
Maybe.
Right. And I don't think that the Native Americans were building like complex brick buildings.
And if they did, they weren't building like monuments to last forever. Like you said, like, the freaking mountains and shit, but that wasn't really the same thing.
They were smarter about it. They weren't so
What about like
colonizing about it.
like the adobe houses or whatever?
the
And
huts.
Yeah.
where's that at? Like Mexico?
New
or
Mexico. Well, it's like
Arizona.
freaking Mount Rushmore. Before it was Mount Rushmore was some sacred Native American site, and we're just like, huh, neat mountain. Let's carve some presidents' faces.
Let's fuck it up.
Yeah. So
If you go into the act of colonizing, what England wanted, England liked if you had nice, big, full, luscious lawns of grass, you were successful. But
that's why America has so many fucking yards.
But if you, the Native Americans didn't see it that way, they used the land. They had all kinds of plants, this, that. That's like what they ate off of. They didn't want to get rid of shit. They wanted shit to preserve and sustain itself, so they could have food and this and this and this. And then people from England came over here and fucked it all up, killed off a shit ton of buffalo just because they're in the fucking way. I want my grass.
Well, they're easy to hunt. They taste good.
No, they just something about killing them all off. They killed off a lot of fucking food sources just because they could. They wanted it out of their way.
Well, it wasn't what they were used to. They're great British fish and chips kind of a thing.
Maybe.
I don't know. Next week, if these two ladies do an episode, I will not be here. I will be back afterwards.
Stop
I am hoping.
Here it is.
I am hoping to find, because I will be hosting when I return, I'm hoping to find and bring back some good Italian beer. I don't know. I've been trying to find breweries around, and Google's not bringing me up much in the part of the country I'm staying in.
I don't think they celebrate beer like we do.
Germany's not too far off, but I've been trying to find wineries and shit. Where I'm staying is primarily looks like just a shit ton of vineyards and farmland. So it'd be interesting to see what I find once I get to talking to people over there. But, it'll be alright. What have we learned today, guys?
I don't know. What did we laugh really hard at a minute ago?
Masturbating over cereal.
Masturbating yoga.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Something about shoving yogurt and water up your ass to stop you from masturbating.
Oh, that guy was probably actually into it.
Right. I really, Ron, can you do an experiment for us? We're going to give you
Look, I don't work at Dan anymore.
water enema,
Listen, bitch. I do not work at Dan anymore. I do not get free yogurt for those experiments.
I don't get the yogurt. I'm not trying to put that much yogurt up your asshole unless you want me to. But then I want to like give you a yogurt enema right after that, and I'm gonna be like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard can you get right now? That's. I learned that I want to do that experiment on you.
How hard can I get right now? Are you going to be naked or clothed?
So we just gonna like.
You're gonna have all kinds of water and yogurt up your ass.
Are we gonna do this where we can see him, or are we gonna like put him in the bathroom and like shove the tube or something?
This is your
underneath
bathroom.
the door.
Your bathroom. You're cleaning it.
No way. And then make him like insert it himself or whatever, and we're like, "You ready?" And maybe there's like a camera on the other side so they can watch. But we don't have to watch.
I think you guys have known me long enough now for this to be a true experiment. You're going to have to watch all that fucked upness.
He's like, you're going to have to be there. If we're going to do this experiment, you guys are going to be the ones inserting the tubes. So we'll have to do it in your bathroom upstairs, like a full tub. We're going to have to do a full tub. I'll buy a really hot prostitute for that. I'd be like, she'd be super sexy. I'd be like, you're going to have to be naked. And you're going to have to shove the tube up his ass.
She's like, what is this fucked up shit? Just trust me, it's for the internet. I get paid extra
for science. It's for science. Well, I learned that Ron did not say no to that.
Yeah. We all just learned that, didn't we?
Good times.
Are we ready, kids?
Yes. TheStrobingButtplug.com.
Like, subscribe, share. Or in Italian, El Strobing El Diplog.
Boy.